My pleasure, Riaz, as usual.
You are a busy man, former Olympian, working with the Whistler Cup. Lots to talk about with you when it comes to skiing. But let's talk about this. Whistler Cup coming up, next weekend?
Yeah, April 5th to 7th. It's the world's largest juvenile ski race. And this is a race that was created by Canadians in Canada to bring the best in the world so that we could see how good we are against them and what it takes to be the best in the world. And it's working.
Now, how stiff is the competition? What's the age group, and how does Canada fare on the international stage?
11 to 14. You get people coming out of this like, you may have heard of her, Lindsey Vonn.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she's very famous right now for a variety of things, including her skiing,
yeah,
as well as a variety of other top names. I can keep going on. And this helps our youth, our young kids, understand what it takes to be the best in the world, because they're here. Benjamin Reich won the World Cup in slalom and overall many times. So you get to ski against Benny Reich, and then you get to try and beat him. So Manny Osborne Parody, the great Canadian, Aaron Mozinski, another name. In fact, 96% of the Canadian team, there's one rogue that we're going to have to throw off the team, so it's 100% went through Whistler Cup.
So what's the best thing to tell these young athletes that, you know, aspire to international achievements, hopefully the Olympics one day, when they're going through this? I mean, you went through this with the Olympics. What's the best thing you can tell them?
So the deal is that all those people you're competing with in the Whistler Cup are the same ones you'll compete against when you get to the Olympics. You can get to the Olympics by going through Whistler Cup, and they are just human like you. They just keep on getting better, and so can you. Yeah,
and what would you say about the development of Canadian athletes? What we've seen over the last few years, 2010 was a great showing for the Winter Games.
It was stunning how great we did in Vancouver. We intend to do better at the Games in Sochi in 2014. I'm the chef de mission. I want us to be better, and that's why we have Whistler Cup, so that you can see the future. You can see the great Canadians and the other nations kids coming along. 23 nations right now, 450 kids, and some of the very best in the world are going to be there. Go and watch it, have some fun, and I get to see them. And not 2014, maybe 18, you'll see them competing for Canada.
And you're racking up the air miles right now with that role, chef de mission for the 24. I can't believe we're talking about 2014 Games already. Time just flies.
It does.
What's involved with the role when you're the face?
The chef de mission is the team leader. I talk on behalf of the team. I represent them at events and press conferences and fundraisers, and also help coach them a bit, understand what it takes to be at the Olympics. It's not just another World Championship or World Cup, and inspire them a bit too. Much like Mark Tewksbury, you get up in there and you say, "Come on, guys, we're going to kick it," and we will.
I'm sure you've got many great memories back in your days going downhill. What stands out to you the most as some of the most just memorable achievements?
Well, as a ski racer, certainly winning the Olympic medal. I won half the medals for Canada in 1980. We're doing a little better now, right? As well as winning Kitzbühel. And actually now, I think the biggest thing for me is giving back. You know, all these roles you mentioned are volunteer positions. You know, if you're going to be somebody who's throwing bricks, you may as well be somebody who's catching them. That's what I'd rather do. Catch the bricks, be a volunteer, make sport better, help Canada win.
A lot of talk has been focused on the idea of owning the podium. What would you say about that program and what it's given back to athletes to see our athletes fare well?
Big kudos to the Canadian Olympic Committee for helping to continue that going forward and financing it. Own the Podium itself has been continued to be financed by the federal government, so kudos to them. Thank you very much for keeping the money flowing. It's not much, you know, I mean, it's a lot more than it used to be, but it's not a ton of money in the world, you know, scope of what the budget is, but it's helping our athletes be the best in the world. Canada is finally proud to be #1, and that's our goal in Sochi. #1 winners in medals. I won a lot of gold medals, and thanks to people like Whistler Cup to keep that pipeline going.
And how difficult, I know you've done the traveling already, how difficult is it to get to Sochi for anybody at home thinking, I'm going to be there for the 2014
Games?
Well,
I recommend going. It'll be a great Games, because we had people, remember how many people said, I'm leaving Vancouver, it'll be awful. And we all said, it was awesome. It's going to be the same there, but it's tricky to get there. It's 24 hours of travel, 12-hour time change. You go through Frankfurt and Moscow or somewhere to Istanbul and then to Sochi. It's a wild ride, but boy, you know, culture fun.
You're going to be there.
I'll be there, and our team is going to do very well.
Well, we got a good leader at the helm of it all. Good to see you as always.
My pleasure.
I like the gear too. This is vintage.
Go Canada and Whistler Cup. Come and see the young ones.
Nice. We'll put those details on our Facebook page too if you want to come check it out. And there you see, you can follow Steve on Twitter. Russ standing by. Forecast looks good this weekend. Hopefully the same next weekend.